What's going on, y'all? Huge shout out to all the new subscribers and new viewers. I have 4 excellent questions. I'm actually going to answer them on the video today. Let's get into it. Alright, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today is November 23rd and it's a Saturday, and I told you guys I only do 1 or 2 jobs on the weekend. So I got one job to do with Dolly, delivering a refrigerator, headed to it now, and I want to use this video to answer 4 questions. There's 4 questions I got in the comments, and every now and then I want to answer the questions on the channel. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, y'all, just got loaded up with this fridge. It's actually not very heavy at all, so they're really busy in there. Looks like we're gonna have quite a few dollies coming out, especially for the holidays, Black Friday and all that stuff. So this is one of many that's coming this week. All right, man, we're driving about I think it's like 12 miles, something like that. All right, you guys, pulling up to the customer's house. This customer is prepared. I contacted him this morning, let him know all the rules. He said he's good with it, so he should be prepared to remove his door if needed. So it should be pretty easy. So I'm just gonna show the offload, and then I'll answer those 4 questions. All right, so we just got the ramp set up, and we're just gonna go straight shot. I'm gonna use my baby ramp.
Is that GoPro?
Yes, sir. Baby ramp to go up this one little step. And it's straight shot, so the door is about 33 inches. The fridge is about 30 inches, so it should go right in. All right, y'all, we are all done. Very easy. Customer gave me a $20 tip, so that brought my earnings to $94. So definitely worth it. About to head home, spend time with the family. Let me answer these 4 questions. All right, y'all, I'm gonna end the video with this. Huge shout out to everyone that has questions. I know I get new viewers all the time. I do appreciate you guys, and I do take your questions very serious. I know you guys are eager to learn, and this may be for you. So shout out to this person. This is the first question. I get this type of question all the time, so I just wanted to answer it right here on the channel. So when I do Dolly orders, Dolly is very strict, and in their terms and conditions, the contractor is not able to install, hook up anything. Washers, dryers, ranges, refrigerators, doesn't matter. Everything is drop off only. So when you pick the item up, all you have to do is deliver it. That's it. If the item does not fit in the house or where the customer wants it, you have the option to leave it where the customer would like. So you can leave it in their garage or on their patio, whatever they want, or you could take it back if it doesn't fit. If you do have to take it back, you do get paid double. So if the job pays $50, if you take it back, you're gonna get $100. That is on the customer. It's the customer's responsibility to measure their door and measure the size of the item and make sure it fits. It's not your fault. So again, you do not have to install anything. That is something you could do on the side, like a side hustle. So if you have your own business, you could promote that. You can run that through TaskRabbit or things like that and just do that service. You could provide installs, but you cannot do it on the Dolly platform. So if you do decide to do something like that, you would have to stop the Dolly, and then the customer would have to hire you directly. And that's between you and the customer. All right, another shout out to this person. Great question, and congratulations on your van. I recommend both. Yes, I actually recommend a 10-foot ramp to unload, a 6-foot ramp it'll help you like going up 2 or 3 steps. Sometimes a customer has like 2 or 3 steps you need to go up. That will help you. I've had a couple videos where I showed you guys where I use my 6-foot ramp several times. And then also I recommend a 3-foot ramp. I have a 2-foot ramp. Sometimes you have to go up a ledge or up a curve or something like that, or the little ledge to go into the house. A 3-foot ramp will work better. Mine's 2 feet. I recommend all the equipment you can get. So more ramps is better. Again, 10 foot for unloading, 6 foot is good for, just going up like 2 or 3 steps. And then your 3 foot ramp is what I recommend, is going into the house, up a ledge or something like that, or just up a curb. They all come in handy. There's been times where I've used all 3. So I highly recommend all 3. Okay, shout out to this person. This is a great question. I don't think I've had this question before. Now, gig apps, you are allowed to operate in other states. So if you're traveling, I went on vacation to Florida and I was getting dispatch orders while I was in Florida. So it does have GPS, and it'll update to your current location. I don't know if all the apps do that, but I do know that the majority of them do. I know that I've had Simpex orders and stuff like that where I'm in Florida and I was getting orders in San Antonio. So some of them don't register, but most of them will. If that app is in that city and state, it will update your GPS and you will see orders. Can you operate with your whatever state you live in? This one's New York, with that registration, and say you're in California. If you're like on vacation or something like that, yes, you can. If you have New York registration but you live in California, then I would say no. I don't know what the rules are as far as the gig apps, but legally, by law, you have 30 days to update your registration. So if you live in another state like California, but your registration's from New York, you have, I believe it's 30 days to update your registration. So you can't operate legally. The gig apps may allow you to do that, but legally, you're operating wrong. So the only exception, I believe, is if you are military. Military, I don't believe you have to register for the current state. You could use your current registration from whatever state you left and still operate legally. So hope that helps you out. One thing I want to add to that is, if you do decide to do that, be very careful, because technically you're only supposed to use the vehicle that is registered with the gig app. So my cargo van is registered. Let's say I do dispatch. My vehicle is registered with dispatch, and they do not allow multiple vehicles. Some apps do allow multiple vehicles, but majority of them, you can only register one vehicle. So let's say you have a rental car and you went on vacation and you want to do some gig apps while you're on vacation, you'll be using a vehicle that's not registered with the company. So that is a risk. I know people do it. I'm sure people do it, but just be careful with that. Okay, very last question. Huge shout out to this person. I don't know what that says at the top, but shout out to you. Great question. This person is very smart and they're thinking ahead. They're using their brain. They're thinking if this is right for them, and they're asking all the right questions, because this is important. A lot of people jump into this business and they don't even know if it's going to work for them. So huge shout out to you. So I would say, because the question is asking specifically about my market, that's all I can do is answer for my market. There are other markets that are better than mine, and there's other markets that are not as good as mine. So specifically talking about gig apps and working this type of job like full time, for me in my market, the money is good. I live in a state where the cost of living is very low. There's no state tax. I don't have a lot of expenses, and I also have a passive income. So all of that together, for me specifically, I can only speak for my market, the money is good. I only need, well, I don't really need to, but I try to make $200 a day, at least 6 days a week. And typically in my market, I can do that. There is a consistent amount of work, but it is off and on. I am not the perfect example of how much money you can actually make in my market. There are people in my market that make way more money than I do, but they work a lot longer and harder. So it all depends on when you start. These gig apps start at 6 in the morning with Rody, and you can literally work from 6 to 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you do that, there's a good chance you can make $400, even up to $500 a day. That is a fact, and it's very consistent, but it all depends on what you're willing to do. I am very strategic in all the orders that I take. So I let a lot of orders go. I've actually done videos on it, and I've showed you guys how many orders that I pass on. If I actually just did the orders, I would definitely make over $300 a day, possibly $400 a day, and still be able to work like 6 hours. There are some apps that are better than others. That's why I always recommend to multi-app. If you want to do this type of work, you really have to study your market. You need to know, I would say if there's at least 5 of these gig apps in your market, I would sign up for them. I would not buy a vehicle yet. You could register your car just to get on the platform. And then once you see that, you know, you're on the platform, you have at least 5 gig apps in your area, and you're seeing a pretty consistent flow of orders, then you could think about purchasing a van. I would say your first van does not have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be brand new. If you can afford a brand new one, that's fine. But I recommend buying a used van and pay cash. If you could pay cash, you don't have to have an expensive van. You can get a low roof and you can do all the orders that I do, minus refrigerators and some larger loads. But majority of the gig apps will have loads that will fit in a low roof van. I would spend between $5,000 and $10,000. Make sure you study your market. Make sure there's a flow of work. And most importantly, you got to have a plan B. You got to have a way to make money without the van. So just to answer the question, yes, the income is good for me, but I can only speak for myself. Everyone's financial situation is different. Everyone has different needs. Everyone is not in the same boat that I am. So to make $200 a day, which is my goal, I'm able to do that consistently throughout the year. There are some slow days. Majority of the time, I can reach my goal. And again, I am not the perfect example of how much you can make. I don't work early and I don't work late. I work 3 to 4 hours a day, and I'm very comfortable with the money that I make. So I would recommend continue to do your research, continue to watch other channels and people in other markets that's doing gig apps and see what type of money they're making and what kind of orders they're getting. But most importantly, you have to study the market that you're in. So hope that helps you guys. I really appreciate all the questions, and I will catch you guys on the next one.